About Music here at Gambit. It is the end of 2025, and before we close out the year, I thought that I would talk about some of my favorite records from this year. I am joined by Lionel, one of our producers on the podcast.
Really cool idea, because like we're already doing the year in review, you know, for some of our popular New Orleans stories. This is cool because, you know, music's a huge part of the culture, a huge part of the heritage. You're kind of one of the go-tos for like what to listen to regionally. So it's like, this is a good idea. I think this is cool.
Oh, thanks. Well, so
what we got?
So I was going to talk about 5 albums that are just sort of personal favorites from this year. You know, I think a lot of publications do best of lists at the end of the year. I always find that to be super hard to do, just because like
that's why we do ours in the fall.
Yeah, exactly. Reader voted, so
that's right. Write-ins.
Yeah, so I felt like maybe it'd be better just to talk about some of my favorite ones from the year. You know, there were dozens and dozens and dozens of releases by New Orleans musicians this year. Yeah. And so just to like go through that and try to subjectively say this was best, this was worse, it's kind of hard to do. But maybe what I can do is tell people like, hey, check out these 5. They're worth continuing putting on rotation, and it'll be, you know, a lot of great music to hold you over into 2026, you know.
Okay.
But
so what's first? What we got first? What's on deck?
So one of the ones that I came back to over and over again this year was Boyfriends in the Garden, right? So Boyfriend is a alt pop artist here in town. For a long time, she was doing a kind of a show, a style called rap cabaret, hair curlers, you know, vintage lingerie on stage and more hip hop based.
Right.
The last couple of years, she's kind of shifted into alt pop and just really kind of bassy, active, energetic music. This year, though, she made a concept album that is about the Garden of Eden and the story of Eve.
I remember we did a feature story about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And this was our cover, not right.
Yeah. So around Jazz Fest, we put Boyfriend on the cover. I talked with her a lot about this album. So it's a concept album that retells the story of the Garden of Eden from Eve's perspective. And Boyfriend plays Eve, and you know, she is intellectually curious. She questions, you know, like, why did God make me this way if I wasn't supposed to look around and question and try to learn and find out what's going on? So joining her in this album, though, is Billy Porter as narrator, the Tony Award winner. Big Freedia plays God. And also this
Tasteful. That's a cool choice.
It's a great choice. That's cool. Because, you know, at the beginning of the album, you know, or at the beginning of Genesis, God says, let there be light. You know, Big Freedia says, turn the lights on.
Right. I mean, like, they're so powerful, too. Like, how apropos.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Jake Shears, who is a member of Scissor Sisters, plays Adam, who is just this vain, arrogant, just dick, just asshole, upset that Eve gets them kicked out of the garden. And Peaches, the electro punk pop artist, they play the serpent. And it's just this really captivating mix of indie pop and lo-fi R&B and a little bit of hip hop and bounce mixed into it. That's just kind of genre bending and just really engaging. And as Eve, Boyfriend just really, you know, takes this queer feminist lens to that story and tries to reframe it about like, you know, why does the patriarchy lay all their blames on Eve for this original sin, quote unquote original sin?
Right. Okay.
But yeah, so it is a very thought provoking album. It's one that you listen to over and over again. You kind of get to different layers of it. And some of the songs are just really bangers, just really great.
Yeah. And then, like you said, like a change of pace from what Boyfriend was initially doing, which, you know, like you could say just makes it stand out like so much more. Absolutely. Definitely going to have to give that a listen. What's next? What else we got?
Yeah. Well, so before we move off to that, this is the song Eve.
Yes. Of course.
So we're going to talk about some individual songs, but yeah, this is Eve's introduction into the story. Boyfriend has just some fantastic vocals on it. Yeah, take a listen.
Got to
Now, do you want to say what's next, Jake?
All right. Yeah, Jake. What's next?
Yeah. So this one just really blew me away again. Kind of came around Jazz Fest. Galactic.
Love them.
One of the best bands in the city released an album with Irma Thomas.
I remember. Yeah.
The Soul Queen of New Orleans, right? And it's one of those collaborations that's kind of like fits so well together that you wonder why it hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
Irma Thomas has appeared on a Galactic song before. She sang on the song Heart of Steel, which has kind of become as like a pretty staple piece in both Irma's sets and Galactic sets. But this was the first time they've released a full length album together. And do you remember whenever Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys worked with Dr. John a few years ago? Lockdown.
Vaguely.
Yeah. So
Lockdown. I mean, that's a blur, right. But I kind of got a little bit of this.
Yeah. So Galactic kind of took this a little bit of a similar approach of preserving what makes Irma Thomas such a great institution in New Orleans and just this legend of New Orleans rhythm and blues and soul, but adding a little bit of modern instrumentation behind her that just fits so well. And honestly, both Thomas and Galactic have never sounded better. Like they are just in tip-top shape. But yeah, it works super well together. It's something that I hope to see maybe happen again in the future.
Yeah, I hope so too. My first experience with Galactic was catching Stanton Moore Trio at Snug Harbor a few years ago, and that was my first introduction to them. And going through that very famous discography up until now, wow, what a trajectory from Galactic.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's
so cool.
It's really rad to see who they work with as vocalists. Maggie Kerner, who another really standout album from this year, Upstate. She just released that album a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, Maggie Kerner, Jelly Joseph is their go-to vocalist right now, who's another powerhouse vocalist, Erica Falls. So they really work well with these powerful women vocalists, and there's maybe none better in New Orleans.
I was about to say, then you get Irma, and it's like
yeah, so I really think that this is a modern. It's going to be kind of a modern classic of New Orleans music. I think it's something that we're probably going to hear a lot from over the years. In fact, one of the songs which we're about to hear, "Where I Belong," Jazz Fest picked up in a lot of their promotional materials last year. And then in recent promotional materials, another song from the record ended up in their recent stuff too. So "Where I Belong" is one of the singles off the record. It has this really incredible line in it about how Irma was singing in Paris while you were still in diapers. And it's like just a lot of swagger. And
that's ice cold.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I've been here. Where you been?
Here.
Like,
where you, yeah, exactly.
You wearing Huggies.
Why are you talking to me like this?
Pull up, dog. Pull up in those Huggies. Like,
yeah. So, it's I think it's a song that, we'll hear over and over again over the years. Yeah.
Because I got to the Galactic Irma performance late, but I was there for some of the Galactic Irma performance. Oh my God.
It's great.
That was probably the highlight of my Jazz Fest. It was a great day of weather as well. It was super packed, and everyone was just happy to see Irma on stage. That was a fantastic performance. So I can't say that I heard the song live, but I heard some of the album live. Yeah. And it was awesome. It was so cool.
So take a listen.
About a million times. I was in Paris drinking champagne when you were in diapers and crying. I spent my lifetime out on the road. You wouldn't believe the things I've seen, and I've forgotten more than you know. Yes, I have. I guess I'm right.
And Lionel, you want to hear what's next?
Nothing would make me happier.
Nothing. Yeah. So
Not even $10 on the street.
Yeah. So speaking of Big Freedia, Big Freedia this year released a gospel record. All right.
Very cool.
It's called Pressing Onward. And so Big Freedia is a bounce icon, right? And
Juan LaFonta, he fights.
Yeah.
He don't play. He don't play.
So there's, like Big Freedia is just occupies just a large space in bounce and New Orleans music. But before all of that, Big Freedia was singing in her church choir growing up. And in fact, faith has always been this very personal, intimate thing for her. And she's wanted to do a gospel record for a long time. She's been a big fan of people like Kirk Franklin and Shirley Caesar and these other kind of gospel greats. And so a couple years ago, she just decided the next one I'm going to do a gospel record. So she got a choir together. She has, speaking of Billy Porter too, he's on this album. There's quite a few different guest artists who come in and they just make just classic, uplifting, joyous, loud, bold gospel music.
Like what you think of when you hear like, oh, I was listening to some gospel music.
Yeah.
It sounded like that. Like,
yeah. And so,
what a classic sound. Like, what a lovely sound.
Although let me also add though, it is very modern. There's a little bit of bounce in it, of course.
That's like there's gonna be a little bit of cheese on the spaghetti. Like, of course. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. Like you can't do a Big Freedia album without bounce, right? No. There's Billy Porter's on it, Tamara Braxton Jr., Kay Michelle, Don Richard. But yeah, so one of the things though that I think is really interesting is that, Big Freedia is an LGBTQ icon. And I think a lot of, and she and I talked about this whenever I interviewed her a few months ago about this record. A lot of people in the queer community have not felt very welcome in churches, right? So Big Freedia had made it a point that in the tent revival of Big Freedia, everybody is welcome. And spirituality is a very personal thing. And how you choose to be spiritual, whether that's a, long bearded God in the sky or whether it's energy, whatever it is, you're welcome in this revival. And so there's a lot of...
That's wholesome.
It's great, man. It's really uplifting. It's fucking uplifting. And Big Freedia just decided that she wanted to make this, this uplifting record because people are going through a really hard time. Big Freedia earlier this year lost her longtime partner, Devin Hurst. Himself, he was an artist. And, she again turned to music and her faith to help her through this really hard time. Yeah. Still, it is Big Freedia. There's a lot of swagger around this record. And so the song we're about to hear is called Sunday Best, which is about if you're going to go to church, you got to look good because you got to show up.
Yeah, you got to show up, dude.
You got to show off. So, this is Sunday Best.
My mama always told me, Freedia gotta stay fly. Freedia gotta stay fly. No, you never catch me slipping. Do it for the Most High. Do it for the Most High. Watch me catch the spirit. But I'm a never fly spirit. I ain't gon' do it. Always keep it in first class. Heaven stamped on my ticket. Hair, press, dress, down, nail, done for the one. Amen. When they see me, know I ain't nothing to play with. Holy water, drifting, Prada, all designer, father. Oh yes. Breaking necks in my Sunday best.
Jake, I have a question for you.
Oh, Lionel, I can't wait to hear this.
Jake, what is our fourth album that we should listen to that came out this year?
Yeah, so it is Welcome to Louisiana,
Volume
1 by Reezy.
Oh yeah, we did a cover on this too, right?
Do we have air horns? So Reezy, if you're not familiar, is a I kind of want to keep saying up and coming, but the dude has just
kind of here.
He is here.
Kind of here, right?
Yeah.
Next up.
This young New Orleans rapper. He's from Uptown. earlier this year, he received the Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx. They held a gala. They gave the Next Up Award, gave it to Reezy. He's gotten shout outs from Tyler, the Creator, Kendrick Lamar, James Gunn of
DC and Marvel. Yeah, crazy.
Put one of his songs on a playlist he shared around.
Yeah.
So he is starting to get national attention.
Yeah, get some commendations for real. Yeah.
So he's just this he's a really charismatic, very charming guy. His music is very fun. He can flow from introspection into these party anthems. It's just, he's a great guy to watch. And this year he had just this incredible year. He released 4 different projects.
That's a lot of work for 12 months.
Yeah. So one of the ones was Pardon Me, I'm Different, which he collaborated with PJ Morton of Maroon 5, Grammy winner. That album came out, but Welcome to Louisiana. If you only had time for one album, Welcome to Louisiana
this is the one
to check out.
This is
because
the one? Okay.
it's because it's kind of his way of looking at New Orleans and Louisiana and the world around him through his lens.
Sure.
And so, he talks about going out to Airline Skate Center with his friends. He talks about jumping on a party bus, but he also talks about growing up uptown, and being a young black man in New Orleans. And, there's just a lot to really dig into. So this song that we're about to play is Hungry Flows, and you'll just hear his skill with words, but also his ambition. The guy is just really he's hungry and hers. Yeah. Next year, he told me earlier this year that he wasn't planning on doing 4 releases next year. That was a lot. But he wanted to get his name out there this year. And so,
I mean, what a way to do it.
Oh yeah. Make a big splash.
Dude went to the diving board in the deep end and said, I'm going to do 2 flips, not just one, man. And I mean, now we're talking about, I'm like.
And then that tiny little splash at the end and just nailed it.
10 points. 10 points. Full 10.
So this is Hungry Flows.
I'm in my mama house, working hard to move my mama out. The basement got some space, if they get there, she be gon' grind it out. 20,000 hours into the craft, I'ma find it out. Thought the world was dark at 14, said I'ma shine it out. So the water been shining, introduced my struggles to the world. I can see they been bonding, blending well, matching well. Sounds together like phonics, like Sonics, running like Sonic. Been up for days, I'm insomniac, got through the drive like Sonic. Frozen food, fast food, dry food for the days. Praying mama cook tonight, I'm getting tired of raising Canes. I eat me a steak and still had that hunger. I gotta pass it to the sisters and little brothers like Night Wonder. Martin Luther had a dream, Kanye West said, and I wonder. K-Dot wanted to be heard, but Reezy about to bring the thunder. Lightning straight to the boulders, dust the dirt off my shoulders. Lead the youth in juveniles like this, the Magnolia Soldiers. And the beat goes dun 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 dun.
All right, Lionel, we have come to number 5. Do you want to know more?
Last but certainly not least, I would love to know more.
Are you still with me here? You still in?
I never left.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so the last one I kind of want to talk about today, this year was the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. That is a emotional, powerful time for a lot of people here in New Orleans.
Yeah, need not say more.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about this record just because of its place a little bit in music around that time. So back in after Hurricane Katrina, brass band musician, the drummer Ellis Joseph, who co-founded Stooges Brass Band, found himself in Atlanta. And he was displaced, didn't really know what to do, how long he'd be in Atlanta. But as a musician, he started getting hit up about work. And he formed the Free Agents Brass Band while he was in Atlanta with other displaced New Orleans brass band musicians. They would play some funerals.
So the name rings true.
Yeah. So, they were free agents.
Right.
They had been part of other bands and were still part of other bands, but everybody was scattered around. So they played in Atlanta, but pretty soon after people started to come back to New Orleans, Ellis also came back in early 2006 and also continued the Free Agents Brass Band. The lineup was always a little bit amorphous, it kind of depended on who was in town, but they got a lot of work playing second lines and funerals, store reopenings, welcome home parties, all these things. But they also started writing their own music. And a lot of that music was just naturally about the experience of being a musician back in New Orleans after this just life-altering event.
Yeah.
And they recorded an album called Made It Through That Water, sorry. The album originally was only released on like 100 CDRs. And it just never really... it was put out there, people had it, free agents continued to perform, but it just was never really able to be found. But earlier this year, to mark the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, free agents reissued that album. And it's a really great brass band album, but it carries just so much emotional weight to it. And, there's joyful songs about being back in New Orleans. There's emotional songs about, seeing the city has already changed, and it's just, it's just a kind of a powerful time capsule of that time.
In a way, that's like kind of like the closest to time travel we can get sometimes is like trying, like, like exposing ourselves to like, like this piece of like storied media and flashing back, like truly, like there's no better way to remember and be reverent about this life-changing event other than something like this.
It's
perfect.
It captures a time and a place. And through music, like there's just really not many better ways to kind of find that feeling. But so this last song we were going to play is the title track, Made It Through That Water, which did have appeared on the Treme soundtrack and kind of had a little bit of a life of its own a couple years after the album was released. But very solid album, worth checking out. Is finally on streaming platforms.
That's good. And it's an important album too. Like again, like this is a piece of history. Even who cares about the reissue? This is a piece of history.
Absolutely.
It should be listened to. It should be given that attention.
So let's listen. Well, so, before I get on to maybe some quicker honorable mentions, there is one more release that I wanted to talk about. Surprise!
We said 5, there's 6. Pick up sticks.
So this one came out just a couple weeks ago. Is something that I absolutely loved, and I just wanted to put on other people's radars. Alfred Banks and Pell have collaborated on a new EP called Survivor's Condition.
Alfred, I think Alfred was hinting at this during our interview a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's all right. So tell us more.
So it's a little bit short of an EP, but it's fantastic hip hop. Alfred Banks, I think, is just one of the most gifted lyricists in the city. Pell, also a gifted lyricist, though on this album is digging into his producer and DJ side as Pello Talk. Side note, earlier this year, they released one. Pell and Twiggity and Don Richard released one of my favorite local songs from the year called Go Crazy. You're a DJ. Maybe you've come across it.
Might have to pick it up and pay the $1.49.
Yeah, absolutely. So Alfred and Pell collaborated on this record. So not to get too far into it, but Alfred was in another duo called Sax Kicks Av with the multi-instrumentalist and producer Albert Allenbach. Not to get too far into it, they split earlier this year. And I think this EP kind of deals a little bit with Alfred kind of picking himself back up after this split of, a project that had some momentum to it. But then partnering with another just really talented producer in Pell. So it's absolutely go check it out on streaming. Great, just New Orleans hip hop. If you like any of the Global Warming Crew's music, which Pell is a co-founder of it, or if you've heard any Alfred Banks stuff in the past, you'll guarantee to like this. But it's almost like two superpowers joining together for something fantastic.
Like the Power Rings,
Powers
new,
combined.
fresh, cool, groovy. Like what else do you need?
No, that's
water.
That's everything. But yeah, you were saying though that you know Pell as yourself as a DJ, and you've played some Pell tunes. So
tunes. To give a shout out to my favorite Pell song, "Flight," Pell and Dave B. Cool. I love that track. Super groovy, chill, super funky. Yeah. So we were talking a little bit behind the scenes. It's like, we got to surprise them with this 6th album. And I was like, oh, yes, we do. Especially since, like I said, we had a moderately lengthy interview with Alfred Banks a few weeks ago, and he was hinting at this. And he left us on the hook. He didn't tell us.
He didn't tell. Yeah.
It's cool to figure it out now, man.
Yeah.
It's cool to figure it out.
Also, kind of full circle moment. He also talked a lot about Reezy. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of connections happening right now. All right. Well, so I know I wanted to highlight 5 albums that just were personal favorites, but I feel like we really can't turn a page on this year without talking about some of the other albums that came out. There were a lot of good releases this year. This was a great year for local music.
I mean, we got 4 just from Reezy himself. There's tons.
Yeah,
There's tons.
Exactly. Yeah.
What else we got?
Well, so something to look ahead to early next year. At the 2026 Grammy Awards, the best regional roots music album is all Louisiana artists.
Cool.
Almost all of them are New Orleans artists.
Even cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Kyle Roussel, he collaborated with
I get my R's and W's mixed up all the time. I couldn't speak, so I was 5.
Rascally Wabbits.
Yeah.
So Kyle Roussel collaborated with nearly 35 musicians for his album Church of New Orleans.
Okay.
Another really fantastic album from this year. Corey Henry and the Treme Funktet.
Love Corey Henry.
Oh, if you have
shout out.
If you ever see them live at Vaughn's, you know why their Live at Vaughn's record was nominated for this Grammy.
Shout out. That guy. That guy's always a treat to listen to. That's a cool pick.
Yeah.
Everyone remember that one.
So Preservation Brass, which is the brass band group of Preservation Hall, they released their first album this year called For Fat Man. It's kind of it's a collection of traditional brass band music that's been nominated in this category. Trombone Shorty collaborated with the New Breed Brass Band for the album Second Line Sunday. So those are the 4 New Orleans albums that are nominated for this Best Regional Roots Music Album category. The outlier was a tribute to the King of Zydeco, which is... So the Rolling Stones... I remember
this from earlier in this year. I think we ran a story, right?
Yeah. So this year was the 100th anniversary of the birth of Clifton Chenier.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Clifton Chenier is a pioneer in Zydeco music, a South Louisiana legend. The Rolling Stones came out to do a song for this tribute album, and the Stones never do tribute songs, but they made it onto this record. There's also songs by Lucinda Williams, Taj Mahal, C.J. Chenier, who's Clifton's son, and just a ton of Zydeco family royalty out of Acadiana.
Yeah.
So it's a really, if you like Zydeco music, or if you're even just interested in like Louisiana roots music, this is an album definitely to check out. It was put out by Valcour Records out of Lafayette. So yeah, it's going to be a really cool category to watch at the Grammys. It'll be interesting to see who brings it home. Hopefully,
especially that like we have so much like state representation.
Yeah,
well, which is cool. It's always cool, at least for me, to see Louisiana in a positive light on the world stage. And like,
absolutely,
this is honestly it's kind of the best compliment Louisiana can get right now. Like, your music rocks.
Yeah,
thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, so another album I kind of wanted to talk about just a little bit, kind of within that vein. So there is a local organization called the New Foundation.
Okay.
They are the New Orleans Foundation for Francophile Cultures, and they're this little contemporary organization that is focused on Louisiana French, Creole, and kind of bringing a modern touch to preservation in the city. But they released an album called Musiques, and it's 12 tracks. There's 6 different artists on it, each doing 2 tracks that are all in either Louisiana French or in Creole. But you have songs by like Louis Michaud and Layla McCalla, Sunpai Barnes. For the first time ever, a group of baby dolls were recorded singing in Creole music.
You mean like actual like toys?
Oh, so do you know like the baby dolls that parade on like Mardi Gras and with different organizations?
Wait, that's so cool.
Organizations of Black women dressed in the baby doll dresses and outfits
oh my gosh,
and carrying
that's so
umbrellas,
cool.
parasols, and stuff like that.
Why did I think it was toys?
Yeah, well, you got to keep up, Lionel.
Well, that's why you're here for me, man. That's why you're here.
Yeah. But that is on streaming now. I definitely New Foundation is NOUS, French for we.
Yeah.
So
Enchanté. I don't know what that means.
You'll figure it out. So it's
is it bad?
It is a great record. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
A couple shout outs to New Orleans born artists who might be living a little bit outside. Sleazy Easy, who's moved to Atlanta last year, but still keeps a really strong footprint here in New Orleans. They released an album called Ghetto Migration. Just incredible hip hop. Sleazy Easy is one of the best alt rappers out of the city and just really fantastic. And then John Batiste, he released his latest album, Big Money. It's a little bit more of like an old school R&B and blues album than he's done over his last few releases.
Yeah.
The dude got another Grammy nomination for it.
Come on.
So
Our Super Bowl king. Like, let's go, man.
Right.
Let's go.
But it's a really fun record.
I think that's a good, I'm particularly interested in that just because Ian, I don't know if it's fair to say, but at least to me, sort of the last few releases have been big and bold.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I mean, the guy is dope, but this sounds a little more my speed. This sounds a little more
like 50s, 60s R&B.
Yeah, like in the pocket.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I'm actually really interested. Please send me that.
Absolutely. So, but that's honestly just a tip of the iceberg. There were like Alexis and the Sanity, Sarah Quintana, John Cleary, Bo Dallas Jr. and the Wild Magnolias, Chawa, Sabine McCullough, Crucial, The Convenience, Christina Kamini's. I talked about Maggie Kerner earlier.
Yep.
We could sit here all day and I would love to just kind of talk about each one of these albums. But yeah, we write about a lot of these, so pick up Gambit every week.
Yep.
I try to talk to as many musicians every year as I can. But yeah, go support local, listen to local music, and you'll find something you'll love. Pretty easy.
Yeah, and especially in this town. So happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Happy listening.
Yeah.
Got
Lionel,
cool music.
Thank you for taking this journey with me.
This was the best journey ever. I didn't even have to wear a seatbelt.
Oh, it's so smooth.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Hi, my name is Haley, and I'm the owner of Espiritu. We are currently hosting Krampus Cove, a Christmas pop-up with a bit of a spooky leaning bent. If you have a little bit of a goth side or, like a little New Orleans edge to things, Krampus Cove is for you. It's still fun, still joyful, still whimsical, but there might be a skeleton or a Krampus waiting around behind the tree. One of the cool things about the pop-up is that it always includes live performances. So every Friday, Saturday, we've had fire breathers, we've had acrobats, we've had drag, we've had burlesque. So you can check out the Espiritu NOLA Instagram for what's coming up this weekend and see what kind of cool and spooky acts we have for you. I'm going to be making the Naughty List Negroni from the Krampus Cove pop-up menu for you. So it's going to start out with a little bit of saline solution for that extra savory black magic. And then we are going to have 3/4 of our very fancy Lustal Vermouth. It's not a Negroni without Campari, so we're gonna have another 3/4 of that with a better pour spout. And then a 1/4 ounce of our house-made passion fruit syrup, so it's gonna be a little bittersweet. And then finally, 1.5 ounces of Kapali cacao rum to give it a really special note. And then we are just gonna stir that all up until it's nice and chilly like the winter season. Strain that into our Krampus Cove glass. Add some fresh ice. So, little orange expression on there. And so that it's pretty for guests, we also have an orange full moon for Krampus night. And that's gonna be your naughty list Negroni.
Finally, and another thing. This week I want to talk a little bit just about Christmas and Christmas traditions. Lots of people have Christmas traditions. My family, we have a few. We eat Chinese food Christmas Eve. We used to open one present on Christmas Eve and then the rest on Christmas Day, but we've kind of stopped doing that after my sister and I became adults and my nieces became kind of older. But one thing that I always do every Christmas is I watch a series of movies kind of in a row. I start with A Christmas Story, of course, and then you watch It's a Wonderful Life. I watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, even though I've already watched it at least 3 times by the time Christmas Day comes along. And then I end the evening getting really, really drunk on the couch, watching Scrooged and bawling my eyes out when the kid talks at the end. Claire on our staff, her and her sister play hide the pickle, which is weird. And that's kind of a weird thing that they do. But the beautiful thing about these kind of traditions is that it's part of our families. It brings us together. It reminds us of like the happy times in our lives. Here in Louisiana, for instance, there's the traditions of lighting bonfires that are very unique to our region. And I love Christmas traditions. I love other people's Christmas traditions. I love seeing people being happy because, ultimately these are things to remind us to be good, to be kind, to have some joy in our lives, and to love the people around us. And we always could use more of that, which is partly why I wear Christmas t-shirts all year round. Anyway, that'll do it for me this week. Be sure to go to bestofneworleans.com. Click on the like button, smash it like it's that present that you wanted your whole life as a little kid, but it wasn't actually in there. It was just a lump of coal. And be sure to join the Gambit crew to help support our journalism.